Steve Mabona, let's bring you into the discussion there. That final comment from the SGB, Steve, and I'm sure you were listening into that interview. He says, you know, perhaps in another world the school is completed, but in his experience, and certainly in the experience of the learners who are at that school every day, the teaching staff who are at that school every day, the school is dilapidated.
No, the school is not dilapidated. The school, the first phase was completed. Now we need to finalize the second phase. Yes, indeed, we've been interacting with the parents. Our officials have been interacting with the parents. Like as he indicated that there's a letter that was confirming 2019. But we then had to, because there's so many of the schools that we are lining up to build, some to open, we had to revisit on how we're going to be doing this one. We were supposed to use the Department of Infrastructure to build that second phase, but we decided that we're not going to use infrastructure. We'll do that. There's a mechanism that we're going to use within the Department of Education. So plans are afoot to finalize that phase. So probably this year we should be in a position to say this is what we will be doing to make sure that the brick and mortar second phase will be built, and it will be including what norms and standards will then require. There must be laboratory, there must be a center where learners will be eating. There's different many elements that will be in that building. As you would have seen, that schools that we launch, they are a complete school with all the amenities that you need in a school. So I think here, more than anything, when we open other schools, and then other communities will then probably, you know, thinking that we have forgotten about them and it looks like we're not doing anything. No, the school is in our plans. We're going to finalize the second phase, and it's not only this school that they build only one phase where we need to go back and make sure that the second phase is built. So
Mr. Mabona,
we have been seeing development in different areas where other people require schools. Other people don't have any school at all, where we need to make sure that we accommodate and make sure that we build them.
Yeah. Mr. Mabona, I mean, the fact of the matter is, and there are so many points to be taken from what you've just said. First of all, the community and the learners there don't care whether it's the Department of Infrastructure or the Department of Education that's going to complete the school.
No, but you can't say that because...
Please let me finish my question. The second part of my question is that it's taken 20 years. The first part of the brick and mortar of this school started in 2020.
Yeah, you see, the problem is the approach of your questioning. You can't say that people don't care whether it's infrastructure. We need to explain that process. We need to explain on how we do things. So you can't say people don't care.
Yeah, my point is it's the learners who have to learn in this kind of environment.
No, but you need to give me an opportunity to finish. You need to give me an opportunity to finish. So and you can't say it's been 20 years. I'm saying to you, when we started with the process, like as they told you that they gave them a letter to say, which said that in 2019, the second phase was supposed to build. But when we interacted with Department of Infrastructure, because they have other projects that they are working, which they are assisting the department to build new classes, new schools for us, we said, this project, let's take it over as Department of Education and make sure that we complete this process, because it's a few elements that we have identified that we need to adhere to the norms and standards of that school. So, like as I said, plans are afoot, and we've been updating the SGB to say this is what we are doing now up to this far. So we can confirm that plans are afoot to make sure that we finalize the phase 2 of this project. And according to information at our disposal, then in those days when they were building schools in phases, they were trying to spread the infrastructure, trying to spread the resources to say there were so many townships where there were no schools at all. And they had to make sure that each and everyone get a school, because education is key. Yes, everyone must be in a classroom. So that's why they decided that they would do them in phases then when they decided to do so. But we felt that let's not bombard infrastructure. Let them continue with the projects that we gave them. We are highly pressured in many areas and we need more schools. We said, no, this one, let's take over this project and then complete it. And we can assure you that in due course, we should be coming to you and say, we are starting now, the bricks are falling in the school.
Mm. You know, I always feel like a good gauge of where a situation like this is at is whether people in, as you say, the Department of Infrastructure, people in your own department of basic education, whether they would send their own children to a school like this. You've also mentioned the fact that, you know, in other areas, people don't have schools. I mean, are you trying to say that these teachers and these learners should be satisfied with what they've got because it could be worse?
No, but I don't know what happened to you, because really, I don't know how to respond to that.
Is that not what you said to me earlier on, that there are other areas where kids don't have schools?
I was trying to put an emphasis that we are prioritizing. We are making sure that in all the areas, people receive education. And this community have a school. It's just that it's the first phase. And in 2020, the chairperson forgot to tell you that we have replaced the mobile units that were there, which were augmenting the shortage of classes. We gave them new mobiles in 2020 to say, in the meantime, here are the new mobiles. Let's make sure that learners are in the classroom and they're learning while we finalize the process of building that phase 2. So that's what we've been doing to make sure that we complete this project. But yes, indeed, we can assure that we're going to complete this project.
Can you, Mr. Mabona, give us some timelines while we have you here on the program? Because right now, some of the issues that certainly the SGB has told us is that, for example, there are mobile classes that have not been properly earthed. They're saying that there are earth wires hanging right in front of desks, putting the kids at risk of electrocution and of lightning. They say classes are so overcrowded that teachers can't even move through the classes to help learners who might need help. They talk about chemical toilets that have been placed in the school. Female teachers saying this is such a high risk. 2 teachers have developed infections after using these chemical toilets. The other toilets were built 20 years ago. They're broken. They have water running out of them. These are just some of the issues that have been outlined by the teachers there and by the SGB. So as the department in Gauteng, can you give us some timelines for this project?
No, I will not be in a position to give a timeline now because, like as I said, we are finalizing the process of appointing the service provider. Once we have the service provider, I will be in a position to come back and say, we have a service provider. These are the terms of reference. The project will be starting on this day, will end on this day. Currently, I will not be in a position to do that.
All right. We look forward to getting that information from you then. Steve Mabona speaks on behalf of the Gauteng Education Department. And this is in connection with Tholimfundo Primary School in Soweto. The SGB there telling us that it remains unfinished 20 years later.